Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure and an honor to welcome you all back to another PW Mania exclusive interview with two members of the Lethal Connection, the legendary Jay Lethal and the legendary Jeff Jarrett. Big weekend ahead for you both in Las Vegas and the AEW World Tag Team titles. We'll get to that shortly. First questions first. You both have worked with many promoters in your histories and your careers. Where does Tony Khan rank?
Oh, Ari, I'm going to jump right all over this. You're coming in. You're looking for clickbait right out of the gate, aren't you? Yes, you are. Ari, I know your game better than you know it.
Wow.
Now, it goes without saying. Tony, at the end of the day, has a passion for wrestling. Certainly, like myself, I'm not going to speak for Jay, but his passion is. I don't know that I've seen a man with more passion for the business. Obviously, he's somewhat new to the promotion game. And so even folks that have been around for years and years, it's not the easiest thing, but I can tell you this, nobody in the entire history of this business, to my knowledge, has put together a company in under 5 years, have 5 hours of broadcast television globally. So I think that alone speaks for itself.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And especially since, you've been in that same role before, Jeff. And how odd, Ari, is it that Jeff used to be my boss? What a world.
Yeah.
Speaking of the production end of things, I wanted both of you to actually touch on something. And Jeff, you can start off with this. We're getting live shows with AEW now, and I think it's marvelous. How do you feel the live house shows are doing? And do you think ultimately we'll have weekly house shows?
Oh, I mean, it's a crawl, walk, run process. To me, I think that is a sound strategy, because diving into anything like an undertaking of non-televised live events, we've only done 3. We have 2 more on the calendar. Obviously, with the launch of Collision, that wasn't, I'll say on the books in the first quarter of this year. So, originally looking at Fridays and Saturdays to do house rolls events. Now with Collision, and so you have, I'll just say this: the calendar, as far as television productions, doubled. Essentially, yes, we have pay-per-views, but instead of a Wednesday only television show, now we're Wednesday, Saturday, and so that obviously factors into everything. But we're going to get there. But I think the underlying theme is crawl, walk, run. But coming out of the gate, a sellout in Troy, Ohio. Bigger buildings in Corbin and Salem, both very, very, good crowds, super lively. My broadcast partner, Conrad Thompson, says it better than me that, it's the only event you can go to. We're coming up on Double or Nothing. That's obviously the people in the arena are going to love it, but it's driven for the pay-per-view audience. The Wednesday and Saturday shows, those are television. So you have commercial breaks and all the necessities that you have to do with producing TV content. At a live event, when you come, that show's for you. And that just speaks for itself. It's a very, very much more interactive experience.
Sure. And thank you for that insight. I appreciate it. And this question definitely goes to both of you. And maybe, Jay, you can start it off. But, Double or Nothing, we got a packed card. What can we expect from the both of you? And can we see the Lethal Connection getting an additional member this weekend?
There's that name again. Lethal Connection. I love it. I think it's got a great ring to it. It rolls off the tongue, I think. But at Double or Nothing, I mean, I think Jeff and I said it plenty of times on national television, on any time anybody will ever listen to what we're saying. We're going to become the next AEW Tag Team Champions. And you ask, will we get a new member? And I hope that you're not hinting at that being Mark Briscoe, because Mark Briscoe, one of my best friends in the whole world, and Jeff's warming up to him, and he's known Sanjay forever. He's new to Sutton. I would say that he's already an honorary member of the Lethal Connection, if I can use that name that you've donned us with.
Sure. Okay, all right. I love to hear that. Now, let's say you do win the tag titles. Are the trios next? Either being with Satnam Singh or with this new member, possibly?
Oh boy! All right, you're going down that rabbit hole. I've already got Mr. Briscoe. Look, I'll clear that up. A friend of Jay is a friend of mine. It just goes without saying. So But Briscoe, he has a job to do this weekend, and we keep, kind of using the same kind of mentality. He's going to do the right thing when the time comes. I'll leave it at that. But the trios title, I'll say this: I think Satnam Singh has the most potential of anybody on the AEW roster, candidly, bar none. But when we win those tag titles, me and Jay don't plan on losing them anytime soon. With the addition of Karen, you kind of look at our unit. A lot of names are bandying around: Lethal Connection, Triple J, a name here and there. At the end of the day, we want to be called winners, and that's what we plan on doing when we win the tag team titles.
Love that. Final question. All In will be in London, Wembley Stadium. Everything about this event is historic. What does it mean to you both to be able to perform in front of so many in front of so many fans across the pond? Do you see AEW doing more international tours? And do you see yourselves both coming into this event as tag team champions?
Jay, you can go ahead. I'll let you go first.
Okay, I'll start it with the last part of that question. Do we see ourselves coming in there as tag team champions? 100%. And to touch on what does this mean to me, and I can't speak for Jeff, but growing up, for most people who got into the wrestling business when I got in, there was only one company to work for to be on a show this large, to be on a show of this level and on this stage, this magnitude, this amount of buzz. There's only one place. And luckily, I've never had to go there in order to reach this dream, this level. And man, I got to tell you, that means the world to me. It's super exciting that wrestlers of my generation, there's more than one place to go. And right now, if you want to be at the top, there is really only one place. And I'm telling you, I put my money on it and my life on the line. Every time I step into the ring, AEW is the place to be if you want to be anything in professional wrestling. And we're going to have one of the wildest, craziest, most hyped events in London. I can't wait to go. I love the UK. I know a lot of people are always like, oh, well, the weather is always a little doom and gloom. It's always a little cloudy, overcast. I love that weather. I moved to Tampa, Florida because I like the heat. But what I don't like is the cold. I'll take a little rain. I'll take a little overcast. I'll take a couple meat pies. I love the food there. I love everything about the UK. I think I stayed there one time for about a month and a half. That's how much I loved it. I went over for one or two shows and ended up staying for a month and a half. So yeah, I can't wait. And this is going to be a big, big thing to check off my list when I finally write a book, if I ever do.
And Jeff, any words?
I mean, Wembley, 1992, I'd been in the business about 6 years, and I can remember watching that show, the SummerSlam 92. And wrestling hasn't been in that stadium since. And so, I've wrestled in Madison Square Garden and essentially every major arena around the world. So to get the opportunity to be on international soil, I think it goes without saying, I'm a huge fan of the international wrestling scene, no matter whether it's Australia, Japan, Europe, India. I think those are the emerging markets in our industry. But to go into Wembley on the 100th year anniversary for AEW and how kind of the stars of the line. Look, I'll get a little sentimental here, but if you would have told me 6 months ago that I'd have the opportunity to be heading to the ring with Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, my wife, Satnam Singh, which is truly a 1 in a billion, and maybe another member or two. All right, I'm going to throw that little clickbait out there for you. But no, it really is a dream come true. For this opportunity to come at this stage of my career, it is a chapter that I never, ever thought that I'd see happen. And I'll say this, 60,000 tickets sold and we're 3 months out. That's amazing and says a lot. So yeah, to say I'm not pumped for that, that's an understatement.
Well, I personally was excited, but now I'm even more excited after all of that. So thank you so much both for your time today. I really, really appreciate having the chance to talk to you both. Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, best of luck this weekend. Best of luck in London and best of luck everywhere. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great one.
Thanks, Ari.
Thank you, Ari.
Thank you.